Hi, my name's Bob Piorun, and I've been teaching guitar for over 50 years. And I would like to give you a few ideas on learning more efficiently and saving yourself a lot of time. Today I'm going to talk about one subject where you can learn many chords by just learning one chord. This might be for at least intermediate players, but if as a beginner you might want to try this, but it would probably be better for someone who's played for a while. In my book on guitar, I have a page that says, learn this one chord and you have 36 new chords. Now the chord I'm going to show you is played like this. You can start to assemble it by doing this, taking your third finger and barring across the first three strings. Now remember, the strings are counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm on the thinnest one, next thinnest one, and then the third one. My third finger is barring the first three strings. My first finger is on the fourth fret off to the side there, and my second finger is way up on the sixth string. And yes, I'm crossing over and deadening the fifth string. So here's this chord again. Third finger, first finger, second finger. And you can see a picture of it here. Now this chord, by learning this one chord, you could learn 36 new chords. And let me show you what this chord is. It's a very ambiguous chord because it has at least 3 different names. Now the chord where I'm playing it here would be A minor 6th, D 9th, and F sharp minor 7 flat 5. That last one often throws people, but minor 7 flat 5 is shown as a small m, a 7, a dash, and a 5. Minor 7 flat 5. Not an uncommon chord. If you have been playing for long, you might not have seen it, but it would often be used in something like this. That's F sharp minor 7 flat 5 going to B7 to going to E minor. So that's F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Also at the same time it's A minor 6th, and also at the same time it's D 9th. So this chord has 3 different roots. Now often people will wonder, well, if it has 3 different names, that's very confusing. Why not just call it one thing? But chords are often called by the context they're used in. For example, I often try to tell people they wouldn't be able to spell the word pal till I used it in a sentence in context. For example, it could be P-A-L or P-A-I-L or P-A-L-E. Well, chords are like that. They would have a specific name depending on the context and other chords they were used with. So this chord, and by the way, lest it confuse you, in the book I have it at the 2nd fret, and right here I'm playing it at the 4th fret, but it is the same chord. So this chord has 3 names: A minor 6th, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and D 9th. Now when you learn a new chord, you have to have a root note, otherwise the chord is useless to you. You want to have a chord that designates where you would play the chord. Let's take this chord as A minor 6th. Its root is on the 6th string, and that's an A. So if you need B minor 6th, you would just move to a B. I'm not changing the chord, I'm just moving it up the guitar, and I could find any minor 6th. The minor 6th is not any kind of fancy chord. It might appear in the average pop tune. For example, I think of it in the song Yesterday by the Beatles. There's a G minor 6th. So you might often see this chord in a song. So this is a minor 6th with the root on the 6th string. Now it's also, as I said, a 9th chord with the root on the 5th string, even though I'm not playing it. And we'll come back to that, why we're not playing that note. And then the chord is also a minor 7 flat 5 with the root on the 4th string. Here's a little trick I show my students. Most people, as they learn the guitar, start to learn the sixth string pretty well because of power chords and bar chords and pentatonic scales. But a lot of people don't get the fourth string down too well. I've taught a lot of professionals who don't even know the notes on the fourth string well. It is helpful to know them, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, but most people can't find them right away. So here's a little trick. Because this chord gets its name from the fourth string, we're going to want to know the notes on the fourth string. So here's something I show my students. If you know your sixth string pretty well, all you do is jump over and play this note. It'll always be the same note. For example, you probably know this is F sharp before you know this is F sharp. So I could find what that is by doing this. For example, if I needed A minor 7 flat 5 for a song, I might find an A here where I know where it is, and likewise find another A here, and I would play the chord here, and I would now have A minor 7 flat 5. So this chord is A minor 6th, D 9th, and F sharp minor 7 flat 5 at this one place. So every place I play this chord, it has 3 different names. And we're going to see this chord now in context. First of all, the 9th, just to show you its use maybe in songs, it comes up in funk music. It comes up in blues. And the minor 6th often comes up in pop tunes, as I said, something yesterday by the Beatles, so it's not uncommon chords. So anyways, let's look at why these chords have 3 different names and how they may be named according to the context they're used in. I'm going to play a very common chord progression that I often refer to as the Stairway to Heaven chord progression because of this motion. Here's the chord progression. A minor major 7th, A minor 7th, and I'm going to call this chord this time A minor 6th. Now this progression, what it's doing is taking an A minor chord and lowering one of the notes one at a time. So the chords are all called A minor something. A minor major 7, A minor 7, and we want to call this chord A minor 6th because we want to relate it to the previous minor A minor chords. So in this case, I would call this chord right here A minor 6 because I want to call it according to the context it's used in. If I were playing a blues in A, if you know anything about the blues, you'll know that you start on a 1 chord and then you go to a 4 chord. So if I'm playing a blues in A, the 1 chord is A, the 4 chord would be D. So I'm now going to call the same chord D 9th because in this case, we're using it in its capacity as a D chord. So before it was called A minor 6. It's the same chord. But now we're using it in context as a D chord, so we're going to call it D 9th. Now, again, the other name of the chord is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And often in a minor chord progression, you would have a chord movement like this, what we call the 2 chord, going to the 5 chord, going to the 1 chord. In this case, this chord would be called F sharp minor 7 flat 5 because it's functioning as the 2 chord leading to the 5 chord and back to the 1 chord. So anyways, the main thing, even if you don't follow all that, the main thing is this chord has 3 uses. So at each fret you can play 3 different chords times 12 frets. Before you repeat yourself, you have 36 new chords. For those that are interested, let me show you why this chord has 3 different names. An A minor sixth would be A, C, E, and F sharp. An A minor sixth would be A, C, E, and F sharp. An F sharp minor 7 flat 5 would be F sharp, A, C, and E. Notice those are the same notes. A, C, E, F sharp, A, C, E. Now a D ninth has 5 notes. It's D, F sharp, A, C, E. That's why we're leaving out the D. If we leave out the D on this chord, it is the same as the other two chords. Now, some people may think it's strange that we could leave out the root, but that's often done, especially if you're playing with a bass player. He would supply the root. This chord will sound fine as D ninth, even though we don't have the D in it. Now, if you're using it as D ninth only, you might want to actually get the D note. If you're using it only as D ninth, because if I play it like this with the D in it, it's only D ninth. If I play it like this, it's A minor 6, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and D ninth. And most people aren't even going to hear the difference between this and this. This is playing it with the root in it, and this is playing it without it. So the best way to learn to play this chord, if you're just learning it, is to deaden the 5th string. And then it functions as all 3 of those chords. The reason being that all these chords have the same notes in them. This is A minor 6th. It has A, C, E, and F sharp. This is F sharp minor 7 flat 5. It has F sharp, A, C, and E. And this is D ninth, and it has D, F sharp, A, C, E. So if I leave out the D, these chords are exactly the same chord. And again, now the main thing is after you get some idea of where the root note is, you might want to get a handle on playing it. What I would suggest is you take an easier chord for you, let's say an A7 bar chord, and then go to this chord repeatedly, maybe just strumming 4 each, till you get a handle on this. One thing about chord changes, ideally, is you get better at a chord, you can put your hand right on it, but that's not usually the case when you start. So I have people, when they're kind of assembling a chord, get a target note. What I mean by that is, with this new chord, I would make a target of my 3rd finger going for the first 3 strings. That would be the first thing you grasp, and then put the others around it. This way, you're kind of assembling it slowly, but after a while, you'll get so you can go right to it. But a good practice would be to take an easier chord and then change to that chord. And just do that over and over to you. So anyways, there's one chord that will give you 36 chords if you learn it. You don't have to understand all that theory. The main thing is understand this has 3 different names. Minor 6th with this as the root, 9th with this as the root, even though we're deadening it, and a minor 7 flat 5 with this as a root. The way that would work is, let's say you had some sheet music or a songbook and it called for C minor 6th. Well, we know this is a minor 6 chord, and the root's on the 6th string. So we just move this till this is C. Now we've got C minor 6th. It doesn't matter, nor do you have to worry at that time that it's also F 9th or A minor 7 flat 5. All you need is C 6th. Let's say you need E minor 7 flat 5 for a song. Well, we know this is a minor 7 flat 5. We just have to move it so the first finger is on E. There's an E. This is E minor 7 flat 5. Let's say we need a G 9th for a song. We grab this one chord and move till I'm crossing over G, which is right here. So this one chord will function as 36 chords. So if you want to take the time to learn it, you get a little bonus. So I think that's enough for now. The best thing to do is think about that chord and then practice changing from one chord to another using that chord. Bye.